Alright guys, let's wrap up 2020 with a small wrap-up video going over like what I did this year, maybe some of the goals I set out, things I accomplished, and then some of the things that just happened now and some of the things that are planned for 2021. I just want to say thanks for watching the videos, and definitely thanks to everybody I met and rode with this year. I did just start mountain biking at the end of last year, coming from BMX after an injury that kind of made it that I cannot ride BMX anymore. So I've done like a lot on mountain bike this year that I didn't even remotely think I'd be doing, and it's mostly thanks to everybody that I've been riding with and has been kind of giving me confidence and some information about mountain bikes, since I don't know that much about them and I had to learn about which bike to buy, and I'm still learning clearly. But I uploaded a little over 1,000 minutes of YouTube video this year, and I got a little over 500 comments, 400 shares, and most importantly, I got just under 120 subscribers this year and over 50,000 new views. Almost got 100,000 minutes of watch time, and for likes I got 900. Most important thing is the subscribers, especially the people who are actually that I'm meeting IRL and that are sticking around, or that are just helping me with mountain biking in general. Like, that's the most fun part, is going down to Malaga, meeting people again, riding with all the kids, and that helps me progress, accomplish some of the goals that I want to do in mountain bike, because I had a lot of doubts, especially with the injury. I really didn't think I'd be riding the way I'm riding this year, but after seeing riders like Lewis Buchanan, who has the same elbow injury as I do, and then riders like Remy Morton, who probably took one of the hardest crashes that I've ever seen filmed, and he's still my favorite rider. The way he's riding right now is so sick. So if he can do that, I should definitely be able to hit 10 to 15 foot gaps at my local trails. I want to go over my Strava stats real quick, even though I didn't use Strava all the year, but I do like these stats. They're kind of fun the way they did it this year. I had 75 days active, 74 hours, 825 miles, and just over 50,000 feet. Total numbers are way off because I don't use Strava that much. I only recorded like half the year. But I do love some of my longest rides, like this nearly 3,500 feet ride, which I'll probably beat at some time this year. I'm probably not going to be doing as many long distance rides since I don't have a road bike anymore. But I did do 60 miles on my hardtail thanks to Davis, the Routemaster. He's been on the channel at least once. We were actually going to do another video, but I think I scrapped that idea. He'll be around again eventually. He makes videos. I'll link his channel in my description. He does like a bunch of cool road rides, and he's definitely the kind of person you want towing you in on rides like this, where I've never done a ride like that. At the end of this ride, I was literally dead, totally dead inside. Speaking of being dead inside, for January, I'm going to do a fitness challenge, which will be 5 days a week. I plan to do a minimum of 10 miles, minimum of 1,000 feet, and then ideally 100 reps of a certain exercise, whether that's just push-ups or crunches. I've never done anything like that. I hate exercise. Ironically, I do not do exercise, so that's something I'm going to have to learn this month, hopefully to lose some of that 2020 weight, like nearly 20 pounds in 2020, and I need to get rid of it. So also in tandem with the fitness challenge is no social media, which for me isn't that hard because I don't have a lot of social media, but that will mean no Reddit, no Discord, which is kind of a shame because I just sort of started these things and I'm promoting stuff on them, and no Instagram, of course. With the amount of internet everybody consumed in 2020, I need to take like ideally 30 days just off. I'll still be uploading YouTube, of course, and on email and have my phone, but other than that, no social media. Moving to skimboarding real quick, we're doing a Seal Beach meetup with the Reddit Discord kids, but everybody is invited. That's January 16th at 10 a.m. at Seal Beach Pier, probably south side. If the waves aren't working on that side, then maybe north side, so just look out both sides. The information for that is in the Reddit, reddit.com/skimboarding/r/skimboarding. And then you can also find some of the information for the Discord. The Discord link for skimboarding is in the skimboarding Reddit, so find it one way or another. And I will be there and filming. Also, we just started California Mountain Bike Discord. I haven't really promoted that one yet. We just started it. Nobody's really on it yet, but probably more into 2021 when we can get more group rides and maybe California races start back up and all that kind of stuff. We'll promote that Discord a little bit more. I'll put the links to both those Discords in the description of this video. Moving on to information with the Vitus, for anybody looking for info about that. In the background, I should be playing video of me installing my new shock and my new dropper. The dropper I got, it was a 170 millimeter Brand X Ascend dropper. It's basically the one that you would get if you bought a Vitus right now, since all of them come with droppers. And it works great. I had to buy a new Park Tools cutter to install it, and then once I did that, the cabling is all good. It shifts perfect. The tension's so good right now. Everything's working well. The only problem is that we've gone over a million times with the Vitus is the seat tube doesn't insert all the way. It took a bit of getting used to for me with jumping and sort of steep stuff. I'm still not a big fan of that, but that's a relatively small problem. The bigger thing is the shock. So I got the shock in, I ordered the hardware to fit my bike, and I installed that shock wondering if it would be performing similar, how much better it would be, stuff like that, and it is light years better. It's shockingly better. I can't believe how much better it is, especially considering it's just a low-end rock shocks. So I was wondering if maybe it would be comparable to the X Fusion, or maybe there's something actually wrong with the X Fusion. It needs to be serviced, which would be very unfortunate because it was a brand new shock. There's nothing used about it. So the new shock, RockShox Monarch RT3 on my bike has a 3-lever, 3-position switch for open, like kind of firm pedal, and then the full lockout, which is, I wish it would lock out a bit more, but I don't know how much rear shock lockouts work out that well. It works very good for climbing, and then it kind of like opens up if you do hit something. You know, it's not a full lockout, but it is so much better than the X Fusion. Not just because it has that extra feature, which I specifically looked for, but the actuation is a million times better. The rebound is, it feels so much like when I tune the rebound, I know exactly what I'm getting. You know, the fast is fast, the slow is slow. And then I would like to replace the fork to match the rear shock, maybe. Hopefully get a RockShox. If I find a good deal on a Fox, I'll get one of those, whatever. It's kind of hard to find a 130 mil fork, especially in 27.5, so eventually we're gonna get that done. And then I'm not sure about selling the Vitus. That's still always an option because I would like to move to 29er potentially, and if I move to 29er, the Polygon T7 is still the most ideal option unless I find something used, which has been kind of difficult. But obviously throwing nearly $300 of parts on the Vitus is gonna be, it's gonna make it slightly harder to sell, at least at value. Like now I would want 1,500 minimum, but ideally even more than that, especially if I replace the fork. That's gonna be basically encroaching like a 2K bike. So this was something I said I would probably do with the Vitus Mythique VR as an upgrade platform. Instead of buying the VR X, I'm pretty sure the S and X were using SRAM SX, which it seems like nobody likes, and now even I don't like it because I'm meeting people on the trail that are having problems with that drivetrain. It's unanimous across the board. It seems like nobody likes it. So in getting the VR, I'm getting that really consistent and solid Dior 10-speed, which I'm a fan of. It just works, it's fine. I don't have to think about it. It's just a good drivetrain. And then I upgraded the dropper and I'm upgrading the suspension, which is going to bring me about into the $2,000 range, maybe a little bit more. With the VRX, you're still getting just the Monarch R, which doesn't have a lockout. So in some ways, I'm getting a better shock. I might get a better fork. I might get a fork that's worse than the Marzocchi. Not really too concerned about that. Even if I have to keep the X-Fusion fork, the X-Fusion fork is okay. It's better than the shock performs, but I'd still like a better fork for sure. All right, let's get out of here, wrap this video up. So I started mountain biking in November of 2019. I've been riding for about a year now. Having a ton of fun. Did not think I would be able to ride like this. Once I couldn't ride a BMX bike from injuries, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to ride that aggressive anymore. And like I said, just a lot of inspiration from pro riders, and then even more so inspiration from locals, people I'm meeting out on the trail, and I'm having a blast. I saved every dollar from the government unemployment this year and bought a car, and I'm already trying to figure out jobs for 2021. I want to just move forward and get through this year. Like, I got through it pretty well, considering how this year has been for most people and how bad it could get. I'm glad I was able to turn these weird situations into a positive. So I started mountain biking, bought a car, hoping to go snowboarding at some point this season. And then even if I don't go snowboarding, I'm totally pumped to go to my first bike park. I wanted to do that right at the end of like 2020 season, but they closed it down, actually ironically because of the fires, not because of COVID. So super rough year, but that's fine. I'd rather do my first bike park sesh when everything's a little bit more calmed down, hopefully, instead. Hopefully we can organize some like small group rides and just meet some people at Sky Park and Summit and stuff like that. I'm going to be riding Malaga jumps every Saturday and Sunday at around noon. And I think I'm going to do video uploads every Monday with footage from Malaga and maybe footage from the week. The week's just going to be cross-country fitness riding though. If I ride a new trail or ride with somebody and we do something fun or cool on the ride, I'll incorporate that, but it's probably going to be a little bit less uploads in January. We'll see. Thanks for hanging out. Check the description for any of the stuff that I talked about, that I mentioned, anything that I kind of forgot, I will be throwing in there. If you have questions, throw them in the comments, and I hope to ride with some of you mountain bikers and skim with some of you skimboarders in 2021. So hit up the Reddit and the Discord that are linked below, or just hit the YouTube comments, and let's organize some stuff and have some fun after what was basically a rough year for everybody. All right, thanks guys.